Today I'll be doing a recap of my last week in trading. So starting off with AUD/USD, ideally I would have liked to see one of these two lows getting taken before I move higher on the daily time frame. I'm saying I don't trade a daily time frame, so I'm not too stressed about it. See this trend line forming. I want to see it get broken out of. I don't trade trend lines, I only trade the breakouts, or like I only look when I see a breakout. I don't trade anything to do with trend lines besides breakouts. Boom, see it on the daily. So now I see a clear willingness to push higher. Come to the 4 hourly, you know, price is forming some nice 4 hourly bullish structure here from the retracement leg, here, retracement leg, here, right? Price is just ranging right now. So this was a very stupid trade that I took. I saw this retracement leg here, and then I saw this here, right? This high, I mean, and this high get taken here, or like price forms a new high. So I wanted to see price trade back into here and start moving bullish, you know, just start breaking out. But I was looking at this zone to buy from, so I don't know why I took this trade. I'll show you where I took the trade. 30-minute? Yeah, right here. Take it right here. To be honest, very stupid trade. Sweep over here. I saw this liquidity sweep, price respecting this low here at this price point. Price showed willingness to form a new high off of these candles. Entered, and then as you can see, bro, I entered legit. I buy stop right there. This was my trade entry. Taken out. Very stupid trade for me. Not even part of my strategy to enter how I entered. That's not really my entry model. So I deserve this loss. I don't care that I lost. If anything, I'm happy I lost, because now I could learn to freaking just not be stupid. GBP USD, moving on. Missed these sells, right? Come to the daily. I came to the daily first, obviously. There's this resistance level here, right? Price came here, started slowing down. Like this spot right here, where price started slowing down from, was an indication to me of a resistance level whenever this happened, June, right? Then I saw price break above it. I love whenever this happens. Resistance level or support level, and then price breaks through it, and then you just know it's gonna go in the opposite direction. So that's what we see, right? Price moves the opposite direction, and then this high hasn't been taken yet. So price is still respecting this resistance level on the daily time frame. Then I saw these equal lows get swept on the daily, right? I saw buys in November, right at the bottom, off of this something. It was like something here, I don't know. I legit bottom ticked it basically, but I did take it because it was November 25th, nearing December, blah blah blah. I missed down this entire leg here, which I don't care about, right? However, like I said previously, this is a resistance level here. Price is just not willing to push through previously, and it's where sellers previously came in with a lot of volume, clearly this being the daily time frame. So I was expecting at least some form of rejection from this area, be it a small rejection or whatever, right? This is obviously the daily time frame, so a small rejection on the daily time frame would actually be a big rejection on a lower time frame. And I execute on the 5-minute, but I typically trade like definition wise the 30-minute, if that makes sense. Like you can just see like anyways. So boom, 4 hour, I'll go to the 4 hour first. Seeing 4 hour structure, you know, this is the daily zone I had marked out. Price formed a 4 hour CVD exhaustion, which is essentially price forms a higher high, but CVD actually forms a lower high, which essentially means that buys running out of steam. Like I'll give an analogy, I guess. There's a guy running. Oh, that leg does not look good. Bruh. There's a guy running, I guess, right? He's running a marathon. Let's say he's been on it for like 27 Ks already, right? That's a lot of distance covered. He's gonna want to take a break eventually, right? No human can do this for eternity. They're gonna need to take a break and calm down. And that's essentially what this indicator indicates, right? to, well, one aspect of it at least. It indicates a lot of things, but so boom, see this, right? It's price went higher, but volume is bearish, meaning that buyers are running out of steam. They're taking a break. They've won the marathon for a good month here, from 25th of November or 20th of November to the 6th of Jan, like over a month. So now it's time for sellers to come in. I see price do that, boom, form bearish volume, come into this 30-minute zone, reject it on a 4-hour, come to the 30-minute. Like all these markings here, I missed out on all these trades simply because I haven't traded Forex in 2 months, and I wasn't willing to trade Forex either starting January, because I just need to warm up to the market, because it moved very differently to commodities and futures, which I've been trading a lot recently and I'm more accustomed to nowadays. But yeah, see this trend line breakout, price retest, obviously the area where sellers kicked in, move lower. I love when price does this. Just forms like a nice clean lower high and then just dumps when there's nothing to look at here. As you can see on the 30-minute, I guess this, but when it just wicks like this, like I don't know how to explain it. When it just wicks like this, and there's no like fair value gap or nothing here, when it's just like, just kind of looks like a random reversal. Obviously it's not a random reversal, like I could see why it reversed, but when it just forms something that looks like this, bro, like it formed it again right here, this low held and it just formed like a higher thing, whatever, right? And it just came pretty low into this here and just reversed with a lot of volume. I love when it does that. But I saw this trade too late. I saw this trade around this bullish 30-minute candle, right? So if I were to enter, I still could have entered, right? Just like right there, but that's 1.53R. I'm not willing to take a trade for 1.53R. It's not worth risking it, in my opinion. Because everything, no matter how A+ the setup is, bro, it's always risk to take the trade. So I wanted to enter in a price that I was comfortable entering at and getting the best bang for my buck, which would have been up here, right? So I wanted to see price retrace back here, and I would have had a buy stop there, or sell stop there, sell limit, there. But obviously, didn't play out. Now I am currently still interested in sells. Same thing happened, breakout, trend line breakout. Trend line breakout. Came to the 50% point of this leg down. I just want to see price retest this area and then show clear willingness on the 5-minute to move lower. My TP would be here, however, I might sit this trade out because I am still technically bullish on this on the daily. And if I am still bullish on it on the daily, one of my assumptions when trading is these external lows on higher time frames should never get touched. Liquidity swept, wicked, whatever you want to call it, they should never get touched, these lows here on a bullish trend, unless price wants to move bearish for a little bit, right? So knowing that, based on what price is giving me right now, I can predict price wants to come down and take this low just because of, clear resistance here. But thing is, with predictions, they can only get you so far. It would make more logical sense to wait for my assumption to play out, price actually take this low, and then I'll start looking for sales, right? It would be much more logical to play that. And this is how many this is how many pairs I trade anyways, so I'm not really missing out on much if I sit GBP USD out for now. So yeah, I'll have to consider this in the moment, using discretion when the trade actually does come into this area, what I'll be willing to do. However, I'll most likely be sitting this trade out. It's just not worth it to me. Or if I were to take it, I would just probably target just 4R, I guess. Yeah. UJ, I was sitting on a UJ this whole week. This was just like a forward test. My actual TP was here, so I would have got break even technically, or trailed. If I trailed, I would have stopped on my trail. But this is a forward test. I'm not really gonna go in depth on this. Buys here, but yeah. CAD JPY. Okay, quick not disclaimer, quick something to get into. All JPY pairs, from what they're correlated, right? So I've seen on these JPY pairs, although this looks extremely bullish on the UJ, CAD JPY looks like it's kind of exhausted, right? Price came to the zone here, but it came, when I saw this, it came quite deep, right? Like, it came extremely deep on the 4 hour. Look, just barely made it. And typically I don't want to see price retest the zone more than once and form new discovery. What I mean by new discovery is just coming below the first low that came into the zone, and I'll give an analogy on why. Let's say this is a mountain range. I don't know, some mountain range. Yeah. Let's say there's some explorer exploring this specific part of the mountain range. When the explorer is comfortable, he'll just pack up his bags and leave and go home for the day, right? However, if the explorer is not comfortable with his exploration, he's going to keep exploring this part of the mountain range. He's not comfortable there, this part, and then let's say the mountain range, extends forever and ever, let's say whatever, right? And he wants to explore this part, then this part, then this part, this part, whatever, right? He's eventually going to meet a part where he's comfortable with that specific exploration, and then he's going to want to go home, right? Now, linking that to price, if price is truly comfortable with this area of demand, it's not going to want to explore a new area of demand and a new area of demand and a new area of demand. It's going to be comfortable with this area of demand and then push away from it. So that's why I like to see the first low that comes into it get met, right? Because it shows that price is actually comfortable moving away from demand, moving with demand, and away from supply, and it actually wants to have a willingness to push higher. So for me, I missed out on this trade. It did form a new high, right, on the daily. So technically, following bullish structure, it's still following bullish structure, higher highs, higher lows, but using discretion, right? Because discretion is very important when trading. Just barely respected this, just barely came above, didn't even close it, wicked it too, and it's forming some volume to the downside here, right? Like, these are clear indicators of buyers being exhausted. Yeah. Even on the what is it? CVD. I don't know why I brain farted for a moment. Even on the CVD, oh, nothing. Well, I thought I was trying to pre-fire CVD, but yeah, there's nothing on the CVD to really take note of. But at least from what I'm looking for. Yeah, moving on. AUD JPY, nothing to comment on. I wanted to see TP. Oh, this is if I took the trade. I didn't take a trade. I had a trade lined up here, but I forgot where it was. Obviously, my drawings are deleted, but I can show you NZD JPY. It was legit the exact same trade as this trade I was about to take, but I didn't, obviously. Daily zone got met, filled, price pushed higher. Price came into the zone here, but again, using discretion, it just barely tapped into it. It didn't. I'd like to see at least 25% of the zone getting filled. At least 25% of the zone getting filled. Oh, yeah, like somewhere around here. I mean, price did, but somewhere around here. I think this is 25%. No, it's not. It's like an eighth of the zone getting filled. I like to see somewhat of a decent mitigation, right? Obviously, you guys back test and see what you guys would deem as a decent mitigation. For me, this isn't a decent mitigation. This, for me, would be a decent mitigation of the zone on the daily. Come to the 4 hour, not much to really comment on. It's just kind of showing the same as the daily, but I did like this shift in character, what is it called, breaker structure, right? And with my strategy, I want to see from the high that got broken to the low that corresponds with it. This is called the optimal price range, and I need to see price trade into this area before considering any form of trade. Price came to this high. It needs to come to this high or below the high and stay above this low. That's it. So then boom, came to the high, scaled down to 30-minute. This is a key time frame for me. I see this liquidity sweep followed by a CVD exhaustion, which is essentially what I said before. Sellers are getting absorbed at that price point, however. I see price, what is it? Form a new high here. Break up through the 30-minute, closed above with some nice volume. Now I needed to see the OPR getting filled, which was the corresponding low with the high. It didn't get filled. I mean, it got filled, but it got disrespected. However, high time frame holds more power. On the 4-hour, technically it'd be this low here. Price technically is still holding it, but I didn't take this trade obviously because A, it disrespected optimal price range, and B, I need to see this second what is it called? I need to see the second high formed get pushed through, right? Because it could just be a liquidity sweep of this high. But if it happens the second time, then it's less likely, if that makes sense. It's less likely to just be a randomized liquidity or liquidity sweep or just something random. It's more likely to actually push through because now it's showing, it's just a clearer indicator of where price wants to go if it happens the second time, right? For example, like this, right? Like a lot of people get taken out to stuff like this because this is a lot of things. Like this high right here, the first high is very emotional. When a lot of people see that first breaker structure, they're like, oh yeah, price is reversing, especially with all the confluences I mentioned before. Oh yeah, price is finally going back up, blah, 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 blah. So there's a lot of emotion at these highs. You don't want to trade where a lot of emotions are because price goes against your emotions, you know? It's not going to trade with your emotions. If it traded with your emotions and every time you felt happy or felt good with this setup, it's going to hit, bro. But price doesn't trade with your emotions. It trades based on what it wants to do. If anything, it trades against your emotions, bro. It freaking seeks out emotional traders to take you out, liquidity sweeps and stuff like that. So you don't want to trade this first high. There's a lot of emotions at this first high. You want to trade when price finally comes and forms this new high here. Because now it's removing emotion. You're looking at it from a logical perspective. It's showing a clear willingness to push higher. Yeah, that's about it for this at least. I don't want to go too in depth right now. GJ, same thing, GJ. All JPY pairs, I kind of just set them out because they weren't forming anything. GJ, is this a daily fair value? Yeah, daily fair value, filled it. Nice bullish movement through. Came to the high on the 4-hour. However, it didn't form any sign of bullishness on any time frame, I don't think. Yeah, any time frame. Didn't take it. Clean mistrade. Euro JPY, bro. This one, I think it formed all-time highs. Yeah, it did. So it formed all-time highs. I was hoping to catch a buy high, sell high, continuation trade. Didn't take any loss. So far, the only loss I've taken was ADUSD. These other trades I didn't take a single trade on, even the winning ones. 4-hour zone here gets filled. However, like I said before, I don't typically like seeing this. I like to see it happen once, but this was a very strong bullish move away from whatever happened here. So if price truly is bullish, it would respect the next bullish zone formed from this, right? So I disregarded everything I saw here, you know, this blah 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 blah. I missed this trade here. Good miss. Now if price is truly bullish, it should respect the next indication of demand, which would again be this area here. So now it's just up to waiting and seeing what will happen. Initially I thought buys were going to come in from here because it came back to the previous high before the breakout. Price just needs to hold from this low here. It's currently in the optimal price range. Yeah, why I thought price was going to move from here. Fair value gap, previous high, and what is it called? Yeah, I thought that was just going to move up, but obviously it didn't. I had an alert there. Alert didn't get hit. It's fine. These all-time highs though are kind of weird to me. I don't like how price instantly dumped away from it. But again, if it shows signs of demand and signs of bullishness away from it, then it's safe to assume to disregard it. But it needs to show clear indications and clear signs to the buy side for me to consider entering. NZD CAD daily time frame. Oh yeah, this one was quite an interesting one to me. I thought it's very bearish as you guys can see. However, it seems like it wants to shift, right? took this high, came back into this area where buyers came in from, moved away from it with volume, right? So I was expecting the next logical direction for price to be on the daily time frame to be at least to this candle high. Assuming that on the daily, obviously come down to a lower time frame and look for entry. Price displaced through this area from this fair value gap with a lot of volume. So I wanted to see this high get met or anything below it, respecting this low. We see that happen right here in the 30-minute. This optimal price range on the 30-minute gets respected beautifully. Price also forms a new high here. This would have been an entry point. However, stop loss for me would have been down here. It's not worth it, right? So now all I'm waiting for is just price to retrace back into here before a continuation back up. And yeah, to be honest, for this trade, I wouldn't mind putting a buy stop here, because then if I were to buy stop the highs in the 30-minute, it would be like up here. It's not worth it. Like, bro, come on, man, this stop loss is ginormous. I'm not a swing trader. The reason why I have this zone marked out is because it's quite low. You know, obviously buy low, sell high takes precedence, and also it's an unmitigated demand zone. Price formed relative equal lows here. So it looks like it might just want to come through these lows, come into this zone, and go higher. Or it could honestly just come to these previous highs and go higher. Either one. It's whatever. I was just having a let's set at this sweep. I would have to see some clear bullish signs away from this area though. However, because high time frame is quite bearish, I think the weekly... Well, weekly isn't really that good of an indicator, but it is quite close to this low in the weekly, and honestly, it could. Anyways, I just want to see some of these highs get taken on the weekly before it goes lower. Preferably this or this one. I don't want to see it come any higher because I'm still bearish on this on like the higher time frames. But yeah, short term bullish, long term bearish. So knowing that, obviously I don't swing trade crazy. I don't even swing trade at all. I'm a day trader. So yeah, I will just take the logical thing. There's also a trend line. I didn't even see this. Also a trend line here. Price seems to want to break out from, has it already broken out? Technically it has already broken out from this candle. So yeah, next logical TP would be this high. This is not even a bad buy to take. I have my lit set and everything. Moving on. Well, before I get to USD CHF, let me see if I was looking at any other market. I was looking at all the CAD markets, but I wasn't able to find anything on any of the CAD markets. I don't think USD CAD seems like there's some annotations. Pretty self-explanatory, I guess. It's not even like a proper trend line. Oh yeah, I thought price was gonna form a trend line. That's why I had this marked out. I thought it was gonna do this again, but it didn't. And then take this low eventually. I thought it was gonna move off this low and just form a trend line down to it. Didn't. Miss this trade. I mean, nothing to even miss. Like, this is too choppy for me, to be honest, on the 30-minute. Because if I execute on the 30-minute and this is what I'm seeing, it's more likely that I'm going to get taken out because my stop losses are typically at 30-minute candle lows, right? So, AD CAD, nothing. I wasn't looking at it. Euro CAD, nothing to look at. GA. Oof. Let me remember what GA was. Oh yeah, price is bearish, overall bearish, as we can clearly see on the daily time frame. Formed a lot of bearish volume from here, came to this daily low, and came above it obviously. So now prices was in the optimal price range on the daily time frame, dropped to the 4 hour zone get filled. Price fulfilled equilibrium here on this leg, equilibrium here on this leg. This is just me analyzing previous structure, right, to see where price is heading in the future. Just looking left, I guess you could say. So the next logical thing to assume would be equilibrium off of this leg here getting filled, which is obviously this red line here. Price came into it respected actually, not even respecting it, already did the move. Respected this 4 hour zone. I missed this trade entirely because all these annotations were done, I think today or Friday. Because I I haven't been looking at Forex whatsoever besides AUD/USD and these JPY pairs, but I didn't take any trades on these JPY pairs besides AUD/USD. So boom, price came into the zone. We see that as it's forming a trend up, higher highs are getting formed, blah, 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 blah. When the movement comes into the zone on the 30-minute, what do we see here? Bearish, lower high, right? We also see from this high here to here, like this entire trend, I guess we've got from a trend line, price formed lower highs, which is indicative of what I said before, CBD exhaustion, that buyers are getting exhausted, right? They ran their marathon, they're now thirsty, dehydrated, they need electrolytes, they need replenishment. So sellers, you know, they're going to replenish the buyers by adding sell orders, I guess. So boom, saw this low get took. Well, I didn't see it, I saw it after. I would like to see price trade back up to here. Optimally, I would like to see this happen. Highly doubt it though, because of just how much bearish volume is found here. However, it did instantly reject this low here. I don't know though. I mean, I do know, I'm still bearish. I don't really care that it instantly rejected this low, because we see the same thing here. Instantly rejected this low here, but what do we see? Still formed a new low with a lot of volume too. So I'm still bearish. And it also finally looks like a breakout of some daily support leg. Yeah, kind of. It's showing a willingness to. So TP would be here if I was to take this trade. I already took it. And it would just be at the new low formed. 30-minute execution. So creaky chair. You get a new one. I would like to see this get swept. You know, when price typically just chops around and accumulates like this, I love seeing these highs get taken before I move down, or lows get taken before I move up. What are they gonna do? Looking like a good sell on UAUD, but I'm not gonna go in depth on this because I didn't analyze it. This one, bro, I missed this trade, bro. I'm a little bit annoyed too, because the reason I missed it was pure emotional psychology-ness. Anyways, daily time frame looking left, swept low, bullish, broke structure, form new high. Daily time frame traded into it, form bullish volume away from it. Cool. 30-minute. 30-minute zone marked out here. Price came into it, overlaps with that previous high from before on the daily. Oh, was it 4 hour or daily? I think it was a daily. Oh, same thing. Oh yeah, also 4 hour zone too, right? 30-minute, and then I see volume moving away from it. Cool. Showed willingness. Broke through this high, and then it came into this 30-minute zone here. I dropped down to the 5-minute, and I saw this 5-minute bullish structure away from it. I had a buy stop here initially, but I'm targeting 4R on this trade, because looking at this, the next logical assumption for price to go would be to this high. Keyword logical assumption, not logical guarantee, so whatever, right? I was comfortable risking what I was risking on this trade. The reason I didn't take it, I haven't traded Forex in 2 months, so I psyched myself out. I was like, analysis could be wrong. I need to kind of just warm back up to the Forex market. Nothing wrong with thinking that, but I need to trust my strategy, you know? I should have trusted my strategy. To be honest, I don't really mind that I missed this trade, because everything is a learning curve. You know, I made more than that this week anyways, so chilling. What I made this week I'm comfortable with, so not really much to comment on here. Just missed trade because of emotionalness. I could have got a re-entry here on the 5-minute off of this rejection from the previous 5-minute high, but don't really care. That's too high for me to enter in anyways, because it could just come into this validated zone and then move lower. Gold, I took a lot of gold trades. Let me try and find something. Did I have it marked down the gold futures maybe? Okay, no, it would have been here. So boom. For gold, there was I saw this, right? I saw this entire accumulation. I wanted to see price trade into this 4-hour fair value gap, however, before a move higher, just because I felt like gold was kind of overextended. Same with silver, same with, don't think copper had anything like that though. Copper sells, but I'll go into that soon. So boom, price just barely came above these highs. That's why I have that line marked out. And it also formed a 30-minute single candle divergence somewhere over here. That's what I'm trying to find with 30-minute single candle divergence was that I had marked out specifically. Yeah, I think it was this bearish candle here. Right, so that means the way I trade single candle divergences is price forms a bullish, or in this case a bearish candle, but the corresponding candle is bullish. Even though it's a doji, it still closed bullish, right? Which means that there was more aggressive buying volume than sellers aggressive selling volume at this thing, right? Which means that essentially buyers got absorbed on this candle on the 30-minute. So if price was to invalidate this area and show that buyers are in control, 30-minute candle would have had to close above the wick of this candle, right? It didn't. It retested this area and then moved away from it. So I missed out on this buy trade because even though I want to see this 4-hour gap get filled, I saw this equilibrium get met off of this previous high on the 30-minute. So, you know, I wasn't against taking buys if it showed a willingness to move higher. I wasn't marrying my bias, is a better way to put it. Silver is forming some nice bullish movement. Obviously, it's at all-time, well, not right now, but it's kind of just around all-time highs. I like this retracement it formed, so I will be looking for buys next week. Yeah, not much to comment on. This is zone out of market. I didn't get held, so not much to comment on. I'll just delete this alert because I don't really care about this right now. Copper sells. Let's get into it. Ignore this. This was just me bored. Drawing another chart. Just a little house. Boom. These highs took from a lot of bearish movement came in from these highs. Sweat. So I wanted to see some form of bearish movement away from it, which happened here, right? So then I was like, okay, no, I missed the sell trade. Price also came into this daily demand zone, so it's gonna go higher. But then what do we see? Swept this high, just wicked it on the daily, and then the next daily candles. I think I traded this next daily candle, so I'm not gonna say that was bearish yet. Boom. Trend line. I saw this trend line. Price is struggling to breach these highs. Resistance clearly there. Some nice aggressive selling volume. Silver and gold were also at this specific price point. Not price point, time of day. Was also selling quite aggressively in the lower time frames. Copper tends to follow correlated pairs, right? So that this was a forward test, by the way. I didn't actually take this trade. So then waiting for this gap to get filled. And the way I trade these trend lines, I typically just target the lowest point of it as my TP. So obviously I had my TP there. This was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2.5 hour trade. If I were to take it, obviously I didn't. For 6.32 risk to reward ratio. I can't show the trades I actually took because I obviously deleted them all, like off the charts. But I took a few trades on gold, a few trades on silver, and I think like 1 or 2 on Nasdaq for what I was comfortable with. Yeah, Nasdaq is kind of in an awkward place for me right now. I'm anticipating a breakout on the daily. It's just forming a tight range right now. See what it's doing on the EMAs. It's kind of just, what about the 100? Yeah, I mean, it retested the 100 here and here. I might want to just retest it one more time and then move higher, but I think it's also forming SMT with ES too, right? Yeah, it's forming SMT with ES at the highs, but I don't feel like this is a valid long-term SMT. I feel like it's more of an indication that Nasdaq has the potential to push higher and take those highs. So sells to here, which is what I'm assuming. Obviously, I'm probably just gonna sit this out. I'll only be willing to take buys on this. Yeah, I haven't really analyzed Nasdaq to be honest. Besides the daily time frame, I'm not gonna lie. Daily time frame in the 1 minute. Like I don't day trade this Nasdaq. Just doesn't day trade that good, bro. I prefer scalping it. MYM, Dow Jones. Not much to really comment on. It's just from this, breakout, retest, breakout again, retest here, breakout again. Oh, well, hasn't broken out yet, but I'm anticipating a breakout from this retest here. Willingness, formed willingness here. Off of this high, price came in, seems to be meeting some comfortable level of demand at these lows. So knowing this, logical assumption would be that this high to get closed above on the 30-minute, then I want to see a retest. And then off of that retest, I want to see price show another willingness to push past these highs. Scale down to the 5-minute and find my entry point. And then boom, target. Is there anything to even target? I think it's at, bruh, is there all-time highs? I haven't actually checked this. Yes, I mean, it's just kind of stagnating around all-time highs. Target could be there if you want to get a TP up there. Or for me, I'll just target 4 off flat on this trade. XM, Monero, USD. Let me show you guys where I was actually going to enter from. Here, I deleted all my analysis, but it was just trend line, zone here, sweep. For my technical analysis, I also had news analysis, fundamental analysis. Coupled with this, because obviously this is crypto, it's more prone to news from what I've seen than anything else. Saw this, I was willing to legit instantly get in right here, just because based on how everything was aligning, and then just hold it right. I was having issues with the platform I use, however, so I didn't take the trade. But if I took the trade, it wouldn't have been that. It would have been off of the 30-minute candle closure. You guys, stop loss obviously the 30. This is ridiculous. Probably would have. Oh man, this one would have been a crazy trade, but it's all good. We live and we learn. I want to see it come to at least this point on the daily, and then I'll look for entry points. Because there is imbalance here. However, based on how much demand there is, I'm not too worried about where price is going to retrace to. I'm also worried about when price is ready to move. So I'll be looking for clear signs of bullish order flow, which it looks like I might be forming now, but obviously I will wait for markets to open on Monday, when volume is obviously more than the weekends. Bitcoin, I got in at Bitcoin down here. Financial advice, guys, don't take my things. I'm at break even obviously on my investment. Yeah, price just came to a weekly zone here. It's forming nice weekly bullishness, not daily bullishness when I got in. Highs go took, respecting lows, and then highs go took again, but whatever. I anticipated these highs were going to get taken, so that's clearly why I entered there. And then obviously I'm just going to see where this goes. Yeah, that's enough for my trade analysis of the week. Technical wise, in terms of psychology, I think my psychology is pretty good this week. Not much to really comment on. I took 2 more emotionally driven trades than usual. One on silver, one on AUD/USD. One actually hit TP, the other one stop loss obviously AUD/USD. What I could do better moving forward, and why I took those emotional trades. I took AUD/USD emotional trade because it looked like a pretty good setup. That was about it. Pretty good setup, even though it wasn't actually part of my strategy. I just thought price was going to go somewhere. Pretty good setup. I was predicting the market, but you want to limit predictions as much as possible. You don't want to, when it comes to this game, you don't want to predict. You want to know. You want to execute based on what price is giving you. You don't want to execute price on what you think price is giving you, if that makes sense. Even though nothing is guaranteed, you want to make sure it's as guaranteed as possible, and that's not what I did on AUD/USD. I thought something, I feel like price, this isn't, so I took the trade. Silver, the trade I took, that was emotional. Same thing. I just thought price was going to go somewhere. So I took the trade without using and following my strategy as full as I could. I did use bits of my strategy, but not as much as I could have. So going into next week, I'll have to hold myself accountable, punish myself for what I did, and see where it goes. But yeah, I need a limit. Well, not that I need to limit. It's not really something I typically do anyways. It's more of a one-off thing, but one-off things accumulate if left untouched. So I need to actually fix it because I need to be as flawless as possible. It's impossible to be truly flawless, but if I address every issue when it comes, then I can do my best to be as flawless as possible. So knowing that, I will I'll find the reasons why I took those trades outside of, oh, I thought they would look good. Why did I think they look good? Why did I do that stupid thing knowing it was stupid? Does that make sense? Find the reasoning why, tackle it at the root, and then 1% better every day. But that's enough for my documentation for today. And hopefully I'll make another video next week. See ya.